Hello everyone, it's the Batman Statue Collector, and this is a moment that I have been waiting for well over 2 years to not only have him in my Batcave, but also to do a review on him. And I'm just really happy to finally have this amazing Heath Ledger half-scale Joker from Prime One Studio in my collection, and I'm going to be reviewing him from top to bottom. This is probably not the spot he is going to stay. I have a spot for him, but I think I'm going to like him a little bit better in one other location, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we'll start right here at the base. All right, so first things first is we have a base that's basically very similar to the half-scale Ben Affleck Batman, the Superman, and Wonder Woman. Same type of base, but this one also, of course, has the Batman Dark Knight nameplate here, and that basically is great, but it has a dual purpose. It is to basically cover up the battery cover. This whole thing pops out, and this is the on and off button for the lights. And the lights are, again, really great. They're multi-directional, so you can actually point them up or you can point them at an angle. They're completely customizable, so however you want to do that. I really like that. And of course, there are 4 lights. I probably, for one, won't ever use the lights, so I probably won't put batteries in. Otherwise, I would have turned them on for you guys, but I'm just not going to ever use them. The base itself is the cracked roadway. I believe this is probably supposed to be like the scene where the truck flips over and the bat pod, and they have that big confrontation in the street. I believe that is what this base is supposed to be. Also, it is lighter in color than the other one I had. I have the Ben Affleck Batman, but this particular one is quite a bit lighter, like I said, but really nicely detailed, really nicely painted. And that brings us then to the shoes. And if you've ever had Hot Toys before, this reminds me of that. A nice hard polystone. Really great detail on the socks as we lift the pants. I really like that. I love those socks. Basically, I'm just going to go ahead and pan up, kind of show you the clothing as we go. Make sure he stays in focus. So, if you watch my unboxing, you know that you have to dress this guy. And I did spend, oh gosh, probably about 45 minutes trying to get him dressed appropriately. I am still not done. I feel like there are areas that I can improve to make him look even better. And so that's going to be my goal this week, basically. But I do want to say that basically everything about this costume, and I'm going to say that everything about these clothes is real. I mean, these are real clothes. They are real buttons. I mean, they are real buttons. I even had to have somebody help me button this top one because the button was so tiny, but it was real. The tie is real. You have to really tie the tie. Everything about these clothes, just amazingly well done. I just cannot say enough about how well the clothes are made. This particular outer jacket, I've actually had this costume before. I was Joker a couple years ago, and the material, hopefully you can see it, but it is that wool material, which worries me a little bit for dust in my room. So I might have to come out with some sort of case for him. I'm just not sure at this point. But just really, the clothes look absolutely amazing on him. There is some weathering. The camera picks it up a little bit better than the naked eye. Definitely some weathering here along the shoulder, a little bit here on this side. I was hoping maybe for just a tad bit more weathering, and it may be something that I do on my own. I'm just not quite sure, because I do want that to stand out. I do want him to look a little bit grimier. But anyway, I just think that everything about the tailoring on this particular statue is amazing. Now I have a lot of other statues like these guys over here, and there are just little cloth elements like the Batman's cape, and everything about the cloth that Prime One has used is very well done. But this one in particular is, I think, by far the best, and that's exactly why they shipped it flat, and that's exactly why they shipped it with him basically naked, because they want him to look good. They don't want it to look wrinkled. I'm going to come right back here. I mentioned this in my unboxing video. This is my Joker from Sideshow Collectibles. Those pants have been wrinkled for 3 or 4 years now. And so I probably could take those pants off and try to iron them, but I never have. And so I think that they wanted to prevent that wrinkling effect, and basically, come and have it look really, really great on the figure itself. This is the back. Look at the weathering on the elbow here. You can really see it. Again, I'm even seeing it better on the camera than I do with the naked eye. Just really, really well done. Clothing is just really great. I love the vest, tie. Everything is very screen accurate. It just looks great. So let's talk a little bit about accessories. The first two are down here at the bottom, and these are the the Joker cards. Sorry, about to say greeting cards. These are the Joker cards. Very, again, screen accurate. I am a little disappointed that they only came with 2. All the promo pictures showed multiple cards, and so I'm hoping to maybe get a few more from Prime One. We'll kind of wait and see, because I would love the base to be covered with them. But those are the first 2 accessories. And then, of course, we have these 2 accessories here. This is the gun, the handgun here. I like that you can kind of pose it how you want. So if you kind of want the gun straight like that, you can. If you want the gun kind of sideways like that, you can. Some of these, like the knife hand, you can't spin them quite as well, the way they have them keyed. But I will say that I'm going to pull this one. Magnets, incredibly strong. And again, just I'll kind of show you that here so you can kind of see the size. But there are pegs up in here. Again, really well done with magnets. And I don't worry about those falling out at all. This particular hand here with the knife, I'll go ahead and take that one off as well. The knife does come out. It's separate. And so you can actually pose it with the left or right hand, either way. So that is a nice feature. And I'll show you the other hands here in just a second. Actually, let me just go ahead and do that right now. Let me show you the other accessories. All right, guys, so these are some of the different accessories, and I apologize for the shadows of my room, but lots of different options. Of course, you have the machine gun hand here, and so I think that looks really good. Lots of detail. It's a very big piece. You can see the size of it. Just really nicely done. Then, of course, you have the 2 closed fists here, as well as the knife hand. You have the other knife hand, so you can switch it out. You also have 2 open, like relaxed palms here. Again, you have the gun that I showed you just a minute ago. And then again, this is the hand that shows him holding the cards. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these and kind of show you some different combinations that you can do on the Joker. This is what he looks like without any hands. But let me show you what they look like with all the accessories. All right, guys, so this is the first one, and this is taken basically directly from the movie poster, which is what I have in my collection. He's got the closed fist, the balled up fist, and he's got the machine gun. Now, one thing that I will say is, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the head sculpt now. I absolutely love this head sculpt. I think there is no doubt, there is absolutely no question whatsoever that this is Heath Ledger. I mean, one of the best head sculpts that I've ever seen. Just looks tremendous. Now, I know that when they sculpted this piece, I'm going to do a side split screen here. This is the photo that they used when they sculpted this item. Okay, I've found this exact still photo, promotional photo, and this is from the scene when Joker is crashing the party. Okay, And so you can get kind of a frame of reference. If every scene that he was in, he looked a little bit different. His makeup was a little different. Sometimes his hair was a little bit longer. Sometimes it was a little bit shorter. But this particular sculpt is from that party. So that's why he doesn't have all of the messed up makeup. As the scene goes on, it messes up a little bit more. But when he enters that party, this is what he looks like. So when they originally did that pose, the original pose, they had him kind of leaning forward. They had that knife up in the air. A lot of people liked the pose a lot, but it didn't look very steady, and it was really leaning forward too much. So they basically tweaked it. They moved it around a little bit, and this is what they ended up with. They ended up with the legs apart to give it some stability, and basically they flat out made it look like the movie poster. So I think this pose is really great for that. However, a lot of people have said, oh, he just doesn't have a ton of expression. He's not angry. And to me, for this particular pose, you needed him to have maybe even a second head sculpt to show anger. I would have absolutely loved that. And Prime One, if you are watching, it's still not too late. You could still make a second head sculpt for him that would fit this figure, and I would buy it instantly, and I know a lot of other people would as well, and maybe even buy this one if they were on the fence about this head sculpt. Because again, head sculpt's amazing, body is amazing, tailoring is amazing, but some people didn't love this head sculpt. So Prime One, make another one. It will sell, I guarantee it. I will buy it instantly. Okay, here's the look. I'll step back a little bit. Here's the look with the double fist. Okay, I personally think that look is a little bit boring. I don't love that look with the fists, period, but that is an option. I like this particular look a little bit better even. This one features his open palm, so just kind of a relaxed hand, and then a hand where he is displaying the cards. I think that this one in particular does fit the face sculpt a little bit better. He doesn't really show any rage. It just looks like he's just standing there creepily. So I feel like whenever you add the guns and the knives, you do want a little bit of anger in the sculpt. So I think that this is a great option just to have it like that. Now, I love the gun, I love the knife. So maybe let me go ahead and show you another knife pose here with the other knife hand. All right, so last but not least, this is the hand holding the knife, and this is actually in his right hand, which I believe he is right-handed in the movie. I know he kind of switches back and forth sometimes, so I like that Prime One did allow that to be able to be in either hand, his left or right. I love that. But this is basically another great look that you could go for if you so choose, of having the relaxed palm. I think this is another really great option. If you don't want to use the gun, if you don't want to use the machine gun, I think this is real creepy. Just him, just kind of standing there. I think it looks really good. So again, I think this is a great option. Again, I feel like from top to bottom, this Joker is just incredible. One thing that I will say is that I had the Ben Affleck Batman, like I mentioned. I did sell him to an amazing collector. The reason, I'm asked this all the time, the reason why I sold him, I had him in this exact same spot, but he was massive, and I just felt like he kind of overpowered the collection a little bit. And I don't know if he was truly 1/2 scale or maybe slightly oversized for half scale, but I can tell you when pictures started coming in of the Joker overseas, seeing how much smaller he was than the other ones, I can tell you that I was actually kind of excited because I feel like in my collection, this half scale doesn't look so big compared to my 1/3 scale. And I'm going to have 1/3 scale everywhere. I still don't know about these guys. I don't know if they will end up on the chopping block or not. I still really love them. But however, whenever you have 1/3 scale all around you, I love, again, that this particular one was going to be able to fit my collection just a little bit better. Again, I don't think this is where he's going to stay. I think he's going to end up at the very top of my stairs leading up to the Batcave. But I do, again, I just want to give you my first impressions that I think that he is better than I ever could have asked, really. I always am asked this all the time, is like, what would your grail piece be? This is definitely up there. Would I have loved a little bit more dramatic pose? Like, if I could dream a piece for him, I would do the grenade scene where he's got his jacket open with the grenades. I think that that would have been a better choice overall by Prime One. However, since this is a museum pose, I mean, there is something to say about just the creepiness of him just kind of standing there. He is a little bit hunched over. I don't know if you can really tell from, let me see if you can do it from the side. Um, it just looks like a still promo photo from directly from the movie, and so there is a little bit of a hunch to him. He just is standing there creepily, and to me, that makes it just all the more better. So I am okay with the fact that it is not 100% more dramatic or dynamic. I think that there is a subtle creepiness to him for sure. Let me go ahead and show you now where I believe he'll probably end up, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this amazing half-scale Joker. Alright guys, so this is basically going to be the view as we go up these stairs, and this is going to be where I think he is going to be. So I'm going to go up the stairs here and kind of show you basically the view of him in this space here. I haven't showed this space off too often, but again, it's just this little top of the stair cove. This, of course, is a cabinet that is not finished. You can clearly see. It is basically going to be a work in progress. So I have a couple of different options here. I can leave the masks up top, like I have here, or more than likely what I'll do is I will put the masks down in here and have it lit with LEDs to make it kind of one case. I've also thought about making the cabinet much less wide and just having the Joker on top, and then maybe in the corner putting my my canvas poster of the Dark Knight here in the corner. Of course, I have the same problem where I have the angled roof, just like in the cave itself, where it's all angled like that. So that is an issue here as well. But I also, at the same time, might end up getting the Christian Bale Batman, and he might go right next to him. So I really just don't know at this point. But again, I think that the lighting in here makes him look really good. I think this is the spot. He definitely could have gone in the cave, but I just feel like this is where, when you come up these stairs, this is the first thing that you're going to see. And again, this is my favorite character of all time, so to me, this is just, a perfect place for him. And again, he actually, if we rotate this way, he actually overlooks the actual Batcave itself, and so I do like that part of it. Again, I just think this is a really great place for him. So basically what I'm going to do now is give you my final thoughts on this guy, and I just really hope you have enjoyed this review. Alright guys, so as you can see, I'm now in my basement. I'm getting actually ready to edit this video all together, and I just want to take a few minutes to reflect on this piece. I'm a giant Heath Ledger Joker fan. He's my favorite character of all time. I've never been so moved when I saw a film. I'll never forget leaving The Dark Knight. I was actually in Colorado Springs, Colorado on vacation, and walking out of that IMAX theater, I was just... It was like I was in a daze. I've never experienced that in my life. And I was so taken aback by the amazing performance of Heath Ledger. And it devastates me that he's no longer with us. Imagine the talent that he had left to contribute to the world. But with that said, I have wanted a piece like this forever. That's why I bought the Hot Toys Jokers. That's why I bought the DC Collectibles Jokers. That's why I bought the Sideshow Collectibles premium format that came out forever after the movie came out, which still blows my mind. But I bought it because it is my favorite character. And when I saw the Prime One piece, first teased, first previewed, I knew that it was one that I had to have. And as the process continued from the original sculpt to when they changed it, to just there was delay after delay to get him. It's been 2 years, and I questioned myself. I got the Ben Affleck Batman, and it was too big for my collection. So I thought, oh man, maybe just half scale isn't for me. And then I started seeing initial pictures of out of the box, and those are always awful. They're always with flashes and stuff. I thought, man, I just didn't think the paint looked all that great. Even when I opened the box yesterday and took them out for the very first time, I said, oh, I'm just still not 100% sold. But when you take it out and you get it all put together and you get it to where you want it in your collection, I will say that I absolutely love it. Um, More than I could ever imagine. I cannot quit staring at it. Um, he's just really well done. Prime One, you did a great job on him. And I know that he isn't getting as much press as a lot of your other figures and other statues. But I will say this, if you were on the fence about this piece at all, and you have the money, now I know that he is a giant amount of money, and it makes me nauseous to think about how much I spent on him. But when you talk about something that you really want, whether it's an automobile or a brand new sports car, or you want to travel, or you want to do all these things, that's something that I wanted to spend my money on, is that Joker. And so I did, and I'm glad I did. He's staying in my collection probably forever if I can keep him there. And again, if you're on the fence, I wouldn't hesitate. I think he is really well done. Could he have been more dynamic? Yes. Could he have had an angrier face sculpt or more of a messy face sculpt? Yes. And again, Prime One, if you are listening, John Pham, I know you're going to watch this. Please consider doing a second head sculpt that you could sell separately. I think people would go just literally ape crazy for it. Because that would also then sell more units if you haven't sold them all yet, because people would love that second head sculpt. I think it would be revolutionary to do something like that. So consider it. I'm just going to throw it out there, But if not, I'm still very happy with the sculpt itself. And like I said in my video, you can do the switch out parts to reflect that face sculpt. It doesn't have to be all guns and all knives and all machine guns. Because again, you're carrying those things, you're set out to do something terrifying. You're not going to have kind of that smug, creepy look on your face. So again, you put a knife, put the relaxed hand. I think that absolutely looks phenomenal. That's probably what I will do. From top to bottom, he was well executed. The base is great. The sculpt of the feet are great. The shoes, all the clothes. The body itself is just a body. It's sculpted. It is what it is. But it's really all about the clothes on this piece, and it's also about that amazing head sculpt. Could the paint have been slightly better? Maybe. I think he looks really good in person. I've considered having him repainted, making it more sloppy, and I really love the interrogation scene when all the paint is smeared all over his face, and he's got the black drips coming down. So I may consider that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. A lot of my friends are advising that I do that, and I might lean toward that way. But as is, I would give this statue, I'm going to give him a 9.2 out of 10, which I feel like is very high. There are areas of improvement, of course, with any statue. In my opinion, no statue is 100% perfect. But I am going to give it a 9.2 because I feel like it's definitely an A product. It's very well packed. You never have any issues with Prime One, and if you do, Prime One or Sideshow Collectibles will take care of that for you. So don't worry about that. Again, if you're on the fence, I highly recommend it. I am so excited to have it in my collection, and I can't wait now to create my display, because what you saw up there was just the beginning. I'm going to make it as good and as amazing as I possibly can. You can count on that. So please stay tuned to this channel for that, because that's something that's going to be a passion of mine, is to create something unique, special, and as you round that corner coming up those stairs, I want everybody that sees it to be like, holy crap, that is scary and awesome. That's my goal. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Believe me, it means the world to me. I just hit a milestone. I just cleared 1,500 subscribers. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough. Without you, I would not be doing this. It would just be me upstairs alone in my collection. But I'm so glad that I can bring it to each and every one of you, and I'm so happy that you're interested in knowing about my collection. So thank you guys from the very, very bottom of my heart. As always, I thank you so very much for watching. Please like this video if you would take a moment to do so. That helps other people find this channel. And also, please comment down below. I love to read them, and I try to respond to everyone if possible. And lastly, please subscribe. Again, that means a lot to me. I want to grow this channel as big as I possibly can because I want people to experience the stuff that I love. Just like there's all kinds of other channels out there, including all the channels on the Collectorverse. I'll give them a plug, collectorverse.com. Check it out if you haven't done so. You're going to find amazing content, and you're going to find stuff just like I love out there. You're going to find amazing toys, collectibles, statues, all of it. So visit thecollectorverse.com. Thank you so very much for watching, like I said, and I'll see you in just a few days. I'm going to be unboxing that Killer Croc, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you in the Batcave.